ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Cooksley, and I'd like to welcome and thank you for attending today's sermon. I am honored to be speaking with you on such an important occasion. Today, we honor our service members and remember the sacrifices our veterans have made for this country and the courage they displayed when they defended honor, duty, and country. We are here today to honor our heroes, remember their achievements, courage, and dedication to our nation. Also to say thank you for their sacrifices. Thinking of all those heroes who join us today in person and in spirit, we can't help but feel awed by the enormity of what we encounter. We stand in the midst of patriots and the family and friends of those who have nobly served. I would like to ask the active service members and veterans who are here to stand today. Thank you for answering the call of duty. You have made our armed forces the most respected in the world. Please be seated. Now I would like to ask the family members of any service member to stand. We know you have lived through difficult times and have often taken the heavy load of keeping the home fires burning. Thank you for what you have done. Service members we honor today have come from all walks of life, but they share several fundamental qualities. They all possess courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty, and integrity. All qualities needed to serve a cause larger than oneself. Many of them didn't ask to leave their homes to fight on distant battlefields. Many didn't even volunteer. They didn't go to war because they loved fighting. They were called to be a part of something bigger than themselves. They were ordinary people who responded in extraordinary ways in extreme times. They rose to the nation's call because they wanted to protect a nation that has given them and us so much. Your presence here today and the people gathering all across America is a tribute to those lost troops and their families. It is a way to say we remember. From those soldiers who shivered and starved through the winter at Valley Forge, to the doughboys crouched in the muddy trenches of France, to the platoon who patrolled the hazy jungles of Vietnam, and young men and women who patrolled the mountains of Afghanistan. We remember and honor them all. Thank you for attending today. God bless you and your families. God bless our troops, and God bless America.
Marky Penny. First place, Myra Schaefer. First grade, third place is Shania Ryan. Second, Dwight McLeod. First, William Blackford. Second grade, third place is Hope McIntosh. Second, Britt Making. First, Christina Warner. Third grade, third place, Kaylee Beck. Second, Caitlin Blackford. First place, Casey Brick. Fourth grade, third place, Brady Laking. Second place, Luke McIntosh. First place, Harry Laking. Fifth grade, third place is Kaylee Rasmussen. Second, Tatum Connell. First place, Caleb Clark. Sixth grade, third place, JC Augustine. Second, Kaylee Schaefer. First, Jared First. Next will be the third and fourth elementary choir.
in Valentine, Nebraska. He lived in Brownlee, Nebraska until 1974. He attended Brownlee grade school and was the last 8th grader to graduate. He then attended Thedford High School and graduated in 1973. After graduation, he joined the United States Navy in October of 1974. He went to basic training at RTC in San Diego, California. On February 1st, 1995, he transferred to the U.S. Navy Fleet Reserve and moved to North Platte, Nebraska. He then transferred to the U.S. Navy retired list in November of 2004. After retirement, he started employment at Village of Thedford in October 2011. Terry Nichols.
Thank you to the high school staff and to the students up here. For putting this on. I'm here to have a help with my throat as I do every year when I come up here with this. And I really appreciate it because I know most of the veterans do. Taylor pretty much said everything there you can say, but I can give you a few more details as I see them. My rank, when I retired, I was a senior troop rating service warfare. Now, my uniform was hanging on the front there. You shut this off. Okay, thank you. My uniform hanging up there, that's about the only thing I got left from my time in the Navy, as far as uniforms go. I got a lot of flags and other stuff, but I figured that was enough. I guess pretty much how my career went. When I joined the Navy, I went to San Diego, California, to a place called Naval Training Center. And there I went through boot camp, basic training, followed by Raven A School. While I was in Raven A School, I don't know, within a couple of weeks of graduating, they come out and they give me orders to actually moderate over in the Persian Gulf. And I was of the type that was, sailors are made for ships and ships are made for sea. So I went down to the Master Chief and I said, hey, I want a ship, I don't want a shore duty. So I said, okay, volunteer for International Morse Code School and I'll get you a ship. So I did, and as time went on, when I got out of Morse Code School, I ended up going to Lynn McCormick there in San Diego. Incidentally, I found out about a year later, the person that took my position that went to Bahrain was killed by a car bomb in his taxi on his way to Twin Airport, his duty station. And that was what was to be the first of several occurrences while I was in the military, where I, for whatever reason, wasn't there when it happened. And I don't know, I guess the guy upstairs got another plan. He wanted me to be here today. My first ship, I said, was Line McCormick. It was a guided missile destroyer, BDG-8. Home port in San Diego. We were supposed to go on deployment. As soon as I checked the board, we went to Long Beach Naval Shipyard for 9 months overhaul. That was hard work. So we made it through overall in Long Beach. That picture of me that's on the screen over here when it comes up was actually taken in Long Beach, and probably late 75, I guess. While I was on McCormick, we made 2 Westpac deployments. The second deployment was when I transferred to the next duty station. I made second-class petty officer while I was on McCormick. We used to do a lot of what they call naval gunfire support. We go up off Camp Pendleton, there was an island up there, and the Marine spotters would go out there and we'd shoot white shells over for them and train the spotters so they could hit targets. That was part of our job on farming. We were pretty well known for egg gunfire support. The other unique thing about the McCormick was it was DDGA. About every place we went, 8 balls on pool tables come up missing. And you'd go on board the ship, go to sea, and the ship would take a roll, and there's all 8 balls rolling around. One town we went to, I think we got all of them. Parents counting the ladder. Captain said, I don't know nothing about it. Balls are rolling around. Quite unique. McCormick, being my first ship, I was in love with it, obviously. Well, I'll say in the late 80s, it was put into layup. It was subsequently pulled out of layup, which is an inactive ship. We went to a small town on the west coast and had a power generation plant. And after it was wore out, no longer repairable, they gave it back to the Navy, and the Navy took it out to sea and sank it for a target. And I cried when I found that out. Really did. But anyway, after I left McCormick, I went to a place called Naval Telecommunications Center in Subic Bay, Philippines. There I was in charge of the microwave terminal and the emergency diesel generator system, power system for our facility. We had a computer there, it's called a Sperry Univac ECT 9000. It did a fraction of what computers do today, and it did a room about big as this gym. We were really thrilled when they actually put up one of them green screen monitors and a keyboard on the bottom there. It was pretty wild seeing the beginning of computers get through this. Today, what that computer would do, one computer chip would do. Let's see, my duty station at NPCC, after I left there, I went to another ship, and that base ended up closing. That's no longer there. There were several reasons for that. While I was there, I made first-class patios. When I first got there, all I did was work in the microwave room. The night shifts, there weren't nothing to do, so I sat around and read tech manuals. And then when I went and took the first class exam, I scored the highest in the major. Obviously, I didn't miss as many as anybody else. But I should have, having sat there and read manuals for 34 months. After I left NPCC Subic, I went to USS Lockwood, FF-1064, deployed in Yokosuka, Japan. Lockwood FF was the first frigate for the stand for. On the Lockwood, I was in charge of communications. We did a couple of special ops on there. One of them was in a seal husk. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. Clear up in northwestern Pacific Ocean, on the other side of Kamchatka Peninsula. And the other one, we went into what's called Peter the Great's Bay. And at the time, we were doing a Cold War with the Russian Navy. And we did a lot of, who's the biggest kid on the block? We've been shot at a few times. That was usually just warning stuff. I actually got pretty scared when I was out there. The captain said, don't worry about it. There's an Air Force that got combat air patrol in the vicinity. So the Navy's flying some reconnaissance aircraft with venture light wheels on board. So I felt relaxed. The Lockwood was known as a great submarine hunter. We used to detect and track Russian submarines all over the Pacific all the time. Two times we went places we weren't supposed to be. We'd lie about our position to go in. We were pretty fortunate we didn't get in trouble, or too much. Lockwood, I found out, was turned over to or sold to a civilian shipyard there in San Diego. They cut it up for scrap. I figured I probably got in shape for a few years. That was another heartbreaker. When I left Lockwood, I went to what was called PCO, that's Prospective Commission, or the USS Kurtz FMG 38. It was being built by Todd Shipyards in San Pedro, which is right next to Long Beach. And I had orders there, and there was a Navy inspector for the communications installation on the ship when they built it. I was on board for about a year. We built the ship, commissioned it. It was slated at that time to stay at Long Beach. I wanted to go back overseas on cruises. There was another ship that was getting ready to go on a cruise. The guy that had my position equivalent on that ship, his wife had some terminal disease. They were looking for somebody to exchange places with him so he could stay in the States. So I gladly volunteered and got to deploy overseas with him. I jumped clear of the trophy, didn't I? I'll finish up a little bit about Kurtz and then go on. The Kurtz, we had two things there when we were building it. We come up with it, and one of our favorite little deals was 38 Special. And as some of you might know, that's like a revolver, a gun. And we used to call Kurtz 38 Special. And about that time too, there was a song that came out that Hurt So Good. Maybe some of you heard that. Well, we changed it and made it Kurt So Good. Kurt's got a very good reputation for being a top-notch Navy ship. Probably because of them two saying. Anyway, when I went to the Copeland, I made a cruise with the Copeland. We went Westpac. The first time I went to Darwin, Australia. I'd been down there several times when I was on Lockwood in Perth and Fremantle and some other little towns. This time we went to Darwin, Australia, and they have what they call 30 or 40 foot tides. If you've ever heard the ocean tides, they change and the water level changes. Well, down there it moves about 30 or 40 feet. And one afternoon, me and a couple other guys was going to go over on the beach and run around. We had time off. We got ready to leave the ship and we climbed up the gangplank to get onto the pier. We went on Liberty and we were gone for several hours, numerous hours, I don't remember now. We come back to the ship, it was just the opposite. We climbed up the gangplank to get on the ship. They had changed that much in that period of time. But it's something quite unique, I thought. While I was on Copeland, I also made Chief Petty Officer. And I found out a few years ago that it was actually towed down the Pacific and sunk as a target too. So, and that's not always the Navy sinking in. The Air Force likes to go out and blow the Navy sinking. Another thing on Copeland, we left Hawaii, and just west of Hawaii is the international date line, where you change over to the next day. We left Hawaii that year on the Copeland, got to the international date line and crossed. They changed the clocks at midnight on the day before my birthday, and it jumped to the day after my birthday. Believe it or not, this was a ship of about 150 people. And out of that, there were about 6 of us that had birthdays and lost our birthday. normally they don't do birthday parties or anything on ships like that. That year they had a special birthday party for the people that missed their birthday. So if you're trying to figure out my age, it's a lucky year. Let's see, while I was on the Copeland, I got an invitation to transfer to the USS White Plains. It was shifting home port from Yokosuka, Japan to Guam. I readily accepted the request, and as soon as the Copeland arrived back in San Diego, I got on an airplane and flew off to Guam to catch the White Plains. White Plains was an AFS 4. AFS, we used to say attack food ship. That's what the White Plains was. It was a ship that carried food and parts. There was any part you could think of that you needed, or you needed a new ballpoint pen, or some flour to make bread, or a sandwich, or any kind of food, ice cream, whatever, we carried. It was humongous. And probably one of my most rewarding career moves was on the White Plains. I wrote a book about the ship while I was on it. As a result of writing that book, I was qualified as officer of deck underway. At the time, there was only 7 people in the United States Navy that were qualified as OOD underway. Basically, I was qualified to command the ship. When the captain wasn't there, I was qualified to run the ship. So, pretty significant achievement. I did a lot of bridge watches on there. I did a lot of driving the ship. In the war zones, I used to drive all the time in and out of Hong Kong, through the Singapore Straits, Malacca Straits. I did a lot of driving when we were doing underway replenishment. Like I said, we carried food and parts for other ships. Made 4 Indian Ocean Gulf trips on it. Our favorite song on that ship was On the Road Again. We were always going. We come back to Guam for 2 or 3 months and turn around and go right back out to the ocean. We used to pull in, used to load us up by 120%. We pull in like the Philippines, the supply center there, and they would pile pallets of soda pop 2 or 3 high all around the ship on all the open weather decks. We get out there and do an aircraft carrier battle or give them food and pop and stuff, and we went in and total that. I'll bet before they started making us teeth garbage on the ship, they couldn't throw it overboard anymore. I bet the sea and the ocean almost got soda pop all. I really like the White Plains. Georgia Lodge, spent quite a bit of time now. I was on there from 84 through 87. When I left the White Plains, I went to a place called Fleet Training Group, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Had a choice of either doing that or going and driving Paracution landing craft. And I chose to go to Fleet Training Group. There I went to instructor training school. I taught school there for 3 years. First year out there, I was rated number 2 out of about 200 instructors. Second, third year, I was rated number 1. Some of the courses I taught were CMS custodian, teletype repair, communication quality monitoring system, low-level teletype repair. Traveled overseas a lot. I was the only single instructor there, and the rest were all married. None of them wanted to travel. Although I was on the shore component apply to do underway training. That's where we go out and train Navy and Coast Guard ships. We go aboard and simulate bad conditions, simulate wounds to people, so that people can learn how to get good training and be real sharp at what they do before they deploy overseas or into a hostile area. I also flew over and taught Singapore military people. I made a lot of trips to Japan and Guam teaching Navy people. I ended up being the lead instructor while I was there. I coordinated communications for 2 what they call RIM pack exercises. RIM in the Pacific. And it's basically all the countries out in the Pacific get together and have an exercise. They do it like every 2 years. And it's Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, everybody involved. And it's kind of, everybody learns how to work together so that if anything happens, we can protect each other. After teaching school, I was offered orders to what we call DCA, Defense Communications Agency. It was later changed to Defense Information Systems Agency. But it was Southwest Pacific and it was located at Clark Air Base in the Philippines. The Joint Command, we got there, we had there was 13 Air Force, 17 Army, one say me. On arrival there, I had made a senior chief in Brown back. Started being a senior chief. That made me the senior enlisted person at the facility. The Navy at the time, they called me the command senior chief. That ended later. The Army and Air Force, their senior enlisted was called the command first sergeant. And my boss the CO of the place, used to send me notes and he put down SEA for senior enlisted advisor. And pretty soon all the Army and Air Force people started calling me the Sea Sergeant. I had a lot of fun there. It was quite busy. It was all senior personnel, very knowledgeable in communications. We manage all communications and automated systems for the U.S. government in the Western Pacific and Indian Ocean areas. We also had an engineering team and an inspection team that went around and checked everything. It was pretty enjoyable. My turn there was kind of cut short. There's a volcano about 8 miles away from the base, Blue. Mount Pinatubo. They evacuated it. I was chosen as one of them to stay there in order to try to maintain communications while this was going on. Stayed on the base throughout the volcano, through the little blows. When the big one blew and the top of the mountain come off, they evacuated us about 15 miles away. It got interesting. I went to the embassy for a while, work, and then hitchhiked back to Hawaii and did conference calls with the Pentagon, the White House, telling them what was going on. And eventually made it back to the Philippines. As a result of the volcano and all the damage it had incurred on the base, they ended up abandoning the base. Basically, they turned it over to the local government and closed it. We moved our offices down to QB Point Naval Air Station. We were there about a year, and then they ended up closing that base at Subic Naval Station, the base, shipyard, supply center, and air station. That volcano really did a lot of damage. After leaving there, I was offered orders to get to the White House, be on the presidential communications team. where I could go to the Pentagon. And I said, nope, I got 18 years, I'm gonna do 20 and retire. Moved back to Thedford, Nebraska, and get speeches. I did a short tour of Little Man, Yakuza, Japan. I don't know, 2 years there, and then I did retire. Moved to the Fleet Reserve. Did 10 years in active reserve. I was called up during that last Gulf War. They just wanted to make sure I was where I said I was in case I needed it. And then in November, I think it was 2004, they moved me to the retired list. So technically, I'm still paid. I draw a paycheck. I'm a veteran, an active duty veteran. Some of the schools I went to, I went to high school, grade school. I said, this will be all schooling on that. Every year in my current employment, my job, I go to school every year. Usually in March every year, I go down to Kearney, spend 3 days in school, learning about how to maintain water and sewer systems for villages. Well, part of my job. I don't think school is ever go. I enjoy it. Some of the other schools I went to, I think they wrote them down. Went through Telephone Repair School, I went through Crypto Systems Repair School. I don't know how many times I went through firefighting and damage control schools. Used to be every time you went aboard a ship, and then once a year you're required to go through it. I did a career information counseling school, shipboard quality monitoring system school, leadership and management schools, of course, in group-based instructor school, CMS custodian and inspector school, and I had a lot of other courses. Computer programming, database, computer repair, I had all these courses, copier repair schools. So my other qualifications is enlisted surface warfare specialist, and that silver deal at the top of my ribbon there. I also qualify as a communication system technical supervisor, first command senior chief, and officer deck underway. My awards, and that's I'm going to stick with the ribbon on that I wear on my uniform. There's 18 of them. Joint Service Commendation Medal, Joint Service Achievement Medal, Joint Meritorious Unit Award twice, Navy Achievement Medal twice, Navy Unit Commendation, Meritorious Unit Commendation twice, a U.S. Coast Guard Unit Commendation with Operational Device, 3 bad leads, Good Conduct Award 3 times, Navy Expeditionary Medal, National Defense Medal, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, Humanitarian Service Medal, Sea Service Deployment Ribbon 7 times, Overseas Service Ribbon twice, and Armed Forces Southwest Asia Service Medal. And then, of course, there's Rifle Marksman and Pistol Sharpshooter. My time is about it. I thoroughly enjoyed my military career, still do. I've been above the Arctic Circle. I've been down to southern Australia, and every place from the west coast of the United States, clear out into the Indian Ocean, almost to Africa. I've flown on and off aircraft carriers. I've flown helicopters all over the place. Met all kinds of people. Been to all kinds of countries, little island countries. We went down to one time to Papua New Guinea for their 10th anniversary of their independence. Celebration down there, it's kind of unique. I could sit here and tell you stories about the military for about 2 days. They wouldn't know if I could keep it to 30 minutes. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you all for coming. Thank you very much to the staff and students, and of course the parents for letting this all take place. It's really moving to me, and I know it is to some of the other veterans. Thank you.
Okay, now we will have Paxton Hoffman say God Bless America.
Missing man, table, and honor ceremony. The table is standing before you to place of honor. Sitting at this table will acknowledge your missing and appreciate the sacrament. All Americans should never forget the brave men and women who answered our nation's call and served the cause of freedom in a special way. The table is small and simple. The empty chair represents Americans who were or are missing from each of our services: Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, all with us in spirit. The table is round to show our everlasting concern. The cloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives and the call to serve. The single red rose reminds us of the lives of these Americans and their loved ones. Friends who kept the faith close to their hands. The yellow ribbon symbolizes our continuing uncertainty, the hope for their return, and our determination to account for them. The slice of them reminds us of their bitter fate, for missing in a real land. The grains of salt symbolize the tears of our missing and their family. The lighted candle reflects our hope for the return. The Bible represents the strength gained in faith to sustain us and those lost in our country, founded as one nation under God. The glass is inverted, symbolizing our inability to share faith. Share it with me, they are missing. Please join me in a moment of silence.
participation in state programs.